Rest in peace to Trayvon Martin, Ayanna Stanley Jones, Sean Bell, and Oscar Grant. I dedicate this to anybody going through the struggle. All my friends and family who never gave up on me, even when I gave up on myself. Real talk, this is for you. This is equality. Yo. I'm staring at a blank page, trying to find the words. What my people go through got my mind disturbed. It revolves around money, power, drugs, and politics. From the US slums all the way to the Gaza Strip. The problem is we don't see too much positive. It's negative, the media just blames the president. I'm beefing with George Bush, let's talk about that. 9/11, Katrina, the war in Iraq. I mean the facts, I ain't spitting no rap. This shit from my heart, this is for my people that sleep in the park. And this is for my people that hustle to eat, just trying to put some clothes on their back and shoes on their feet. But they just get the poison and sell the poison and live this fast life till it destroys them. They sit in the grave, they bit in a cage. We need change, we still ain't got no cure for AIDS. All we got is guns, religion, and drugs. Prisons are overcrowded, but my people killing for crumbs. Racism and war, no money for the poor. Genocide for Sudan, the people in Darfur. Turn your back, the oil washing up on the shore. The government is corrupt. I don't need a constitution that can't stop sweatshops, child prostitution. My people looking for leaders to lead us in revolution. They assassinated Malcolm, Martin, and Huey Newton. Who do I blame for Fred Hampton's execution? The land of the free, the home of the brave, more like the land of the thieves. The home of the slaves, busting our ass for a minimum wage. But we don't see the gold and the diamonds they rip from the motherland. Poverty got you pointing guns at your brother, man. So brainwashed, we just want tickets to Summer Jam. It's like religion, a lot of things I don't understand. But how you sell your soul for 100 grand? And to the hustlers on the block that's pushing 100 grams. Red versus blue, that's how it is in the gutter, fam. So hungry for a meal, shit'll cut off their mother hands. It's hard to prevail when they monitor sales. Dudes from your team singing like Patti LaBelle. My people in and out of jail, never Harvard or Yale. Whether you black or Spanish, we not tipping the scales. It's so hard to try, it's so easy to fail. Even harder in a broken home with no food and a broken phone. Little kids left alone and the hope is gone. But let me tell you what I'm focused on. I'm focused on shit that's sad and trite, like the countries that make the ghetto look like a paradise. It's funny, we think living in the hood shit is torture. There's people who gotta walk miles to get water, and rebels kidnap their sons and daughters, busting their ass for less than $1 a day. And their government tells them when they eat shit and pray. So I guess freedom tastes different, cause the US kept slaves. But they wanted freedom from Great Britain, call that a revolution. I call that hypocrisy, the way they love to spread disease and democracy, using violence to enforce their ideologies. Call it a prophecy or manifest destiny. How they use religion as a form of weaponry. Force the Native Americans on the reservations. I can't do the math, how much they need for reparations. Miseducation, the effects of gentrification. I guess that's why the world look like the book of Revelation. Tsunamis, hurricanes, natural disasters. They raped our women and they called us bastards. What we need is more teachers and less actors. What we need is more leaders and less rappers. Since man wrote the Bible waiting on the next chapter. Them times I couldn't take it and thought about suicide. I just cried cause all I saw was my daughter's eyes. To my surprise, still pushing me towards insanity. Looking at the shit that drugs do to our family. Why cigarettes and alcohol still legal? Profit off the people's pain, I call that evil. In other words, what I'm saying is God, your children need you. Never been religious but still I gotta ask them. God, how could you let this happen? God, why would you let this happen? Why are there so many homeless people in Manhattan? I wonder what they dream about, sleeping on the train with no food, no shoes, but they begging for change. I'm just like you, cause I'm guilty of it too. I put my head down when I see them coming through. I never volunteered, I never gave a fuck. I keep the 20s and the 10s, I might give them the buck. At the end of the day, I guess it is what it is. Like them Catholic priests who molest little kids. And when those little kids turn to youthful offenders, babies screaming in the garbage cause they moms is Brenda. I don't blame her, who her parents was, she wasn't sure. Growing up in the group home, molested since she was 4, ain't have $1 to her name. Her baby father was poor. I dedicate this to people like Asada Shakur, real revolutionaries who gave their life for the cause. My people settle for less, but be dreaming for more. They make more money off the treatment than they do off the cure. I guess that's why disease is running rampant and Jesus don't understand it. Believing in something secret, just searching for understanding.
You know, they had a speech written for me about what the people need. But you guys are the people. You know what you need. better schools, better jobs, less crime. How many of you right now work 2 jobs just to have enough money to be broke? That ain't right.
Sounds like my brother.
If you work 2 jobs, and at the end of the week, you got just enough money to get your broke ass home, let me hear you say, that ain't right. How many of you have children that they call stupid? Don't be ashamed. It ain't your fault. I asked my niece the other day, what's 4 plus 4? She said 44.
It is.
But that ain't her fault. That's the school's fault.
You got that
Now,
right.
if your child's school has old-ass books and brand-new metal detectors, let me hear you say, that ain't right. It ain't right. And now we got these corporations stealing all the money. They stealing their money. They stealing our money. The pension. You worked for 35 years. You thought you was gonna leave your kids a will. Now you gonna leave them a won't. You show up to get your pension, they give you a pen. Give you a damn pen. Now what the hell am I supposed to do with a pen? I should just stab you in the neck with this pen, Mr. Pension Taker.
Get your hand out of my pocket.
Taking everybody's pension and nobody going to jail.
That's some bullshit. Ain't that some bullshit?
Meanwhile, you and I, we steal a Big Mac with cheese. Next thing you know, we on death row. How many of you work in a city you can't afford to live in? That ain't right. How many of you work in a mall that you can't afford to shop in? That ain't right. How many of you clean up a hotel you ain't never gonna be able to stay in? That ain't right. And we got nurses that work in hospitals that they can't even afford to get sick in. It ain't right. It ain't right. It ain't right. It isn't right. That shit is